From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Evening Edition.
Now at 5, the search continues for a suspect in the Stockton mass shooting that left 4 dead and nearly a dozen injured. The community reaction to the senseless violence.
So we need at this time not only to grieve with the families that are grieving, but we need to take up courage and to get into the streets. We'll never ever police our way into safety in our communities.
Plus, the Bay Area's Afghan community responds to the president's ramped up rhetoric on migrants.
What that guy did was wrong, but that doesn't mean like we should be punished for it because we didn't do anything.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Andrea Nakano.
And I'm Brian Hackney. More info tonight about a mass shooting that happened just before 6 o'clock last night in Stockton. 15 people were shot and 4 people, including 3 children, died.
Stockton's Mayor Christina Fugazi released a statement on Facebook this afternoon condemning the violence and calling it an act of terrorism. She also announced a $25,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or people involved. Brad Hamilton is live in Stockton and joins us now with the latest. Brad?
Truly such a tragedy, and the sheriff's office is now calling this a targeted attack. At the same time, they're still looking for whoever is responsible. But tonight, the community here is still grieving the loss of those 4 people, including 3 children who were attending a birthday party.
On Lucille Avenue in Stockton, Saturday night, a rented banquet hall was filled with families celebrating a child's birthday. But just after 6 o'clock, that celebration turned into chaos.
Last night, about 5:30, we heard gunshots, probably about 20 or 30, rapid fire.
Brent Terrell lives just down the street from where investigators say the shooting happened. He says the gunfire was so fast, no one had a chance to make sense of it.
Moms, parents, relatives, everybody was kind of running around frantically trying to find their family members, and then they started pulling out people, and there was a lot of CPR going on and a lot of ambulances coming and going.
The San Joaquin Sheriff's Office confirmed the ages of the 4 victims killed: 3 children, ages 8, 9, and 14, and a young adult, 21 years old. There are 11 other victims still in the hospital, but their conditions are unknown at this time. As for the suspect or suspects, none have been arrested so far. Earlier this afternoon, the mayor of Stockton released a statement on Facebook saying, quote, "Gang violence exists in cities across the country, but this act was a pure act of terrorism, a complete, cowardly terrorist act." Public Information Officer Heather Brent says they're being deliberate about what they release, not wanting to jeopardize their work identifying who opened fire.
We do not want our community to think that they are at danger. We do not believe that they are. We believe that this is a targeted incident.
But for neighbors, what they saw was terrifying regardless of motive. A second witness, who asked to remain anonymous, arrived as families were running towards the building, trying to find their kids.
When I was passing, there was like family members getting to the scene asking, "Where are my kids?" Like, kids just started running out. "We're missing them. Where are they? Do you guys know anything?"
He told us, whatever the dispute may have been, children should never be caught in the middle.
I don't know, even if it's between neighborhoods, you don't come to a kid's party and do this, you know? They got their way of selling stuff, but not a kid's party.
And for Terrell, a lifelong resident, what he saw last night has him rethinking everything.
I lived here my whole life. It makes you second guess where you're at, makes you kind of wonder where you're going and what the future is going to bring. Scary.
Tonight, detectives remain at what they call a massive and complex crime scene, methodically working to collect every piece of evidence to get answers for so many that are devastated by this tragedy.
We do not have a time frame, and time is not of our concern right now. Our number one priority is ensuring that we locate all evidence, that we do not leave one stone unturned.
And investigators are asking anyone with information to please come forward, especially if you have surveillance video. Again, no one's been arrested in this case, but the sheriff's office seems determined to get to the bottom of this sooner rather than later. Andrea?
Brad, you mentioned that no one has been arrested, but has there been any more information on a possible motive and how close they may be in this investigation to arresting a suspect or suspects in this case?
Well, the sheriff talked late tonight. He kept everything close to the vest, and he said a lot of what you're seeing out there are rumors. And he said bottom line for them is to get to the facts of this case. You've seen some of the things online, and he's trying to fight against that. And really, from his department, not a whole lot of information on motive so far.
All right, thank you, Brad, live in Stockton for us tonight.
In another development late today in San Francisco, Mayor Lurie has appointed Alan Wong as the new supervisor for District 4. Alan grew up in the Sunset. He was a legislative aide for the district. He serves on the City College of San Francisco's Board of Trustees and will be sworn in tomorrow. All these changes come after Supervisor Joel Engardio was successfully recalled in September. Mayor Lurie's initial appointment of Bea Alcaraz, who resigned after a single week because of controversy around her business practices as a former pet store owner. In a statement, Mayor Lurie said the district needs a supervisor who can be a strong, steady voice on the issues that matter most. With Alan Wong as the supervisor, District 4 will have that voice. Indra?
Well, meanwhile, San Jose Fire responded to a 2-alarm fire and gas leak at a house on Florida Avenue early this morning. You can see firefighters work while flames engulfed the single-story home. It also destroyed a car in the yard. Firefighters were able to get the fire under control in under an hour. 3 people were displaced, and the Red Cross is working to connect the victims with resources.
And there was a shooting in South of Market early this morning at about 12:15. Officers found a man lying in the street with gunshot wounds, and despite efforts to revive him, he died at the scene. No arrests have been made, and an investigation is ongoing.
While the investigation into Wednesday's shooting of the National Guard in D.C. continues to unfold, Homeland Security Secretary Kristen Noem made the rounds on the Sunday shows today, revealing that the alleged shooter, an Afghan national, may have been radicalized after he arrived in the U.S.
We believe he was radicalized since he's been here in this country. We do believe it was through connections in his home community and state, and we're going to continue to talk to those who interacted with him, who were his family members, to talk to them.
Yesterday, President Trump announced on Truth Social that he would be pausing all asylum claims from the third world countries, blaming the Biden administration for allowing Afghan nationals into the U.S. following the removal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan in 2021.
When you let the people come in by the thousands and thousands and thousands, they made a terrible mistake, but they were incompetent.
Many people in the Bay Area's Afghan community say they disagree with the latest Trump policy to indefinitely pause immigration from Afghanistan. Don Lin talked to Afghan Americans in Fremont's Little Kabul.
The Fremont area is home to one of the largest Afghan American communities in the country. In fact, you'll find a lot of Afghan restaurants and markets in Little Kabul on Fremont Boulevard. Many Afghans tell me they're disappointed with the new Trump immigration policy. Many Afghan Americans stop by the popular Maywan market on Sunday to buy the traditional Afghan bread called naan. While almost everyone offered to share their bread with me, very few wanted to speak on camera. Off camera, they told me they're upset about the indefinite pause on immigration from Afghanistan.
We feel really bad and disappointed about this.
Ahmad Tawhid Sotani was one of the few willing to speak his mind. Sotani moved to the Bay Area with his family about 5 years ago from Afghanistan. He says the shooting in Washington was the act of one person, not a reflection of the entire community.
Just because one Afghan did something bad doesn't mean all the Afghans should be punished because of that. Just because one Afghan is bad doesn't mean all of the Afghans are bad. There's other people that are good. What that guy did was wrong. But that doesn't mean we should be punished for it because we didn't do anything.
But the U.S. has paused all asylum decisions and stopped issuing visas to people from Afghanistan. President Trump says his administration will also review the status of Afghan asylum seekers already in the U.S.
To send them back, to deport them, would be, a death sentence, since they, supported our armed service members against the Taliban. And so there is a lot of fear in the community.
Harris Mojadidi, an Afghan community activist in the East Bay, says there's growing fear among Afghan Americans.
What the Afghan American community is experiencing is collective punishment, and it is discriminatory, it is xenophobic, racist.
So Tani says even though his brothers and relatives are still in Afghanistan, he doesn't dare to visit them or leave the country.
I don't feel comfortable right now given the policy, because I might get stuck in there.
I did find one Afghan American who supports the immigration pause. He did not want to go on camera, saying he would lose a lot of friends, but he tells me he came to this country in 1981 as a refugee. He says he also voted for Trump last year and supports the president's latest decision. He believes it will make the country safer by keeping the asylum seekers out.
Well, we're looking at a gorgeous sunset this evening in San Francisco, but how long is the fog inland going to stick around for? There is an end in sight. I'll let you know when coming up in just a bit.
Gorgeous sunset out there tonight, if only you were that high up and could see it. There's still a couple of hours left in what is expected to be one of the busiest travel days of the year. TSA expects to screen more than 3 million passengers today. That'd make it one of the 10 busiest days in the agency's history. Earlier, the FAA had said that this Thanksgiving period would be the busiest for air travel in 15 years, and there have been plenty of delays, including at SFO, thanks to a serious snowstorm in the Midwest. And for more on the weather, Zoe is here, and I'm supposed to say, well, I'm not supposed to say, actually, when I last heard, we were finally going to warm up.
A little bit.
Still on track for that, right?
I mean, a couple of degrees.
I'll take a couple of
and
degrees.
A little bit more sunshine.
Tell us all about it.
I'm sure we'll take it because it's been so foggy, so gloomy, so chilly over the past several days, all thanks to that thick fog that's been so stubborn out there. But this evening, I want to show you all a beautiful sunset. If you're lucky enough to see it, enjoy it, because as you can tell, there is still that marine layer that's sitting offshore, and that fog has been very stubborn across a lot of the Bay Area today. This is our view from on top of Mount Diablo, taking a look over the East Bay, where, basically been socked in by fog all day long. There might have been a little bit of a break here or there, but unfortunately, it was a pretty gloomy afternoon for most of our inland East Bay and North Bay communities because of these foggier conditions. But it's not going to stick around for much longer than tomorrow morning. There is going to be a pattern change, as this Thule fog that we've been seeing isn't going to be a lot more dense as we step out tomorrow and over the next couple of days. So let's break it down, show you exactly what we'll be expecting overnight tonight, because it's going to be still chilly out there with that fog. Overnight low temperatures inland are going to be in the upper 30s. So I want to make sure you all bundle up for early tomorrow morning. Any plans, give yourself not only extra time for the fog, but also, again, warm layers. Coastal communities, not nearly as chilly, but still mid to lower 40s. That's going to be cold out there. And right now, again, that fog from earlier today, it's kind of cleared. You actually are looking at mostly quiet conditions, at least for places down into the Santa Clara Valley, for San Francisco, and for parts of our North Bay. But inland East Bay communities, you are going to continue to see that fog throughout the next couple of hours, getting denser and denser, along with our North Bay as well. The places that we've been seeing it for the past couple of mornings, again, it is going to be another foggy start to your day tomorrow. But look at what happens by tomorrow afternoon. That fog that's been in place basically for the past 24 to 48 hours, it's going to lift, it's going to clear. And especially for places like our North Bay that haven't seen the sun in quite a minute, it is going to feel a lot nicer out there, especially because of a very weak frontal boundary. It's kind of difficult to see, but you'll notice by tomorrow afternoon, these northerly winds that we've been seeing, ushering in the drier conditions, are kind of going to flip. There's going to be a very weak frontal boundary. Look at that line, those winds that you can kind of see cutting our North Bay communities in half, kind of moves further inland. That little line, that's the weak frontal boundary that's going to usher in slightly warmer and slightly drier conditions by as soon as tomorrow. So high temperatures tomorrow afternoon are going to be a few degrees warmer, especially for those North Bay communities. Again, we're only sitting in the mid to lower 50s. Tomorrow, you're going to be in the upper 50s. It's not going to be super warm, but again, let's enjoy the sunshine that comes along with it. And those temperatures are only going to continue to get a degree or two warmer and warmer This is by Tuesday afternoon. You'll notice a few of those oranges filtering in. That signifies more of those widespread mid-60s. If you want to head down to Salinas, Monterey, Santa Cruz, you'll be in the upper 60s. That's where the warmer weather will be because they are not going to be dealing with nearly as much of that fog. What we also are going to be dealing with from our North Bay all the way down to Monterey and Santa Cruz is some beach hazards. Just be aware through Tuesday evening, you're going to be seeing some higher waves, upwards of 14 feet, and you'll notice a lull about 10 to 20 minutes in between the largest set of waves. So you might see some large waves, think you're in the clear, probably get closer, but don't get closer because again, 10 to 20 minutes later, another round of 10 to 14 foot waves are going to be likely. Again, sticking around through the time that we step out into Tuesday evening before slightly quieter ocean pattern returns. Overall, though, temperatures are going to stay at or below average most of the week ahead of us. Inland communities, this is the one time of year that it's actually really interesting. Our inland areas are cooler than our coastal communities. Inland going to be in the mid to lower 50s tomorrow afternoon, while coastal communities mid to lower 60s. So hey, maybe head out to the coast if you want to actually soak up some sunshine tomorrow before everybody sees more sunshine by mid to late this week.
Your community, your news, powered by KPIX. CBS News Bay Area. Watch anywhere, anytime. Stay informed and connected. Trusted local news when you want it. CBS News Bay Area. Watch free on any device.
Well, Alameda County firefighters let their facial hair grow freely this month in recognition of Movember to raise money and awareness about men's health issues.
And today the men got a chance to shave it all off. They got together at the Livermore Barbershop. They clipped their mustaches and their beards. Well, you know, you hate to lose that. Those are all good-looking mustaches. They also got to chow down on food and craft beer. The charity event raised more than $10,000.
Have you ever tried to grow facial hair? Does it come in and?
I'll bring a picture and you be the judge.
Okay, that's it for us.
That's like she said. We'll see you back here at 6 for another hour of news. Weekend News is next.